It's a very special night in Southern California as the home team Orange County SC begins play in their brand new Orange County Great Park, hosting their arch rival Los Dos, the LA Galaxy 2. And we're thrilled you could join us. A very windy night here in Southern California. I'm Drew Felios alongside the great Albert Munoz. They call this the War on I-405. It's going to be a fabulous matchup.
Oh, we're looking forward for a lot of youthful energy from both of these players and teams. A lot of talent, a lot of technical ability between these two teams, a lot of rivalry. So looking forward for that.
All right, so much talent on the field tonight for both of these teams. Let's begin with the LA Galaxy and their top scorer with 2 goals, Ethan Zubak, always dangerous.
Oh yeah, Zubak, 19 years old. He's a presence up front. He already has 2 goals this season, so he's riding off that momentum. Looking forward to see what he's going to bring tonight.
Explosive on the other side of the field as well with Duke Lacroix. He has been on fire so far this year.
Duke Lacroix, the same, 2 goals. Obviously, he's a presence up front. He's very speedy. He's an active player, former youth national team player of U14 through U18. So he has a lot of experience and skill up front.
Let's take a look at the rivalry and the lineup for Los Dos. Eric Lopez gets the nod in the net in front of Bennett Sned. A little bit of a surprise there, and Ariel Lassiter up top. So explosive.
I'm looking forward to see what Ariel brings to the game today. He's going to be linking up with Mendiola in the midfield and Jameson as well. So it's typical 4-4-2 traditional lineup. So a lot of interference in the midfield.
Charles Lyon leads the way. He was fabulous 2 weeks ago for Orange County. We'll try and duplicate that performance here tonight, and the midfield is stellar for OCSC.
Yeah, we have a cluttered midfield here. I mean, 4-5-1, maybe a 4-4-2. Traditionally, with Villalobos going to be intertwining with the Lacroix. So we're going to see a lot of ball work playing between the team.
Should be a heck of a night. Here, the Galaxy and OCSC coming up next. We've got the kickoff.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional 3rd division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans, in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit USLD3.com.
There's a special buzz in the air here tonight at Orange County Great Park, a 5,000-seat stadium that Orange County SC is ready to open as they host their arch rival Los Dos. It is a windy night. Temperatures are down as well in the low 60s and rain in the forecast. One thing is certain, there's going to be some fireworks on the field as Mike Munoz leads his Los Dos team, and Los Dos has faced some obstacles this year. He's got a very young team, Albert, that he's working with.
Mr. Mike Munoz, not in relation to Albert Munoz though. But Mike Munoz definitely looking into developing a lot of youth players. I mean, like I mentioned before, the average age here is roughly 20 to 22. So it's interesting to see how we're going to look into working and developing players.
Saw Logan Paz also as well, the head coach of Orange County SC. First season as head coach there, spent so much time in the Chicago Fire organization as a player and as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, I go back with Logan. I mean, we played in the youth system against each other, and I mean, he's looking sharp in his suit. He's graying, so he's definitely putting some experience to the work here, to the field. But Logan Paul's stellar player for Chicago for many years, brings a lot of experience to the table here.
There you take a look at OCSC. As Lacroix gets his team set, brand new uniforms as well, custom made, the black and orange jerseys for OCSC. This is a very special night as Los Dos will wear the white and the home team will don the black and orange.
And as you mentioned before, a brand new stadium, first night to develop the play in this pitch. It's looking great. Obviously, it's windy, so the conditions are going to be a little obviously adverse for the style of play that we like to see, a long ball. But a lot of aerial battles will be played tonight with this wind. Hopefully, they'll touch the ball. They'll be technical. A lot of players get the ball in the first few minutes to get that first touch out of the way. But I hope to see a lot of technical ability tonight.
Sit back and enjoy. We are underway from Southern California. This is, of course, such a hotbed for young soccer talent, probably the best in the country in terms of young talent coming through the ranks.
Yeah, we mentioned that before. I mean, growing up from Miami, we always competed against California teams. California teams, for some reason, had an advantage. They always had an edge on us, developing-wise. They were faster, stronger. They had that professional mentality. So it reflects now, seeing all these 19-year-olds coming out and having the advantage and an opportunity to play for potential MLS affiliates, and have the chance to chase that dream and really make it.
Here's Lacroix controlling, and shoved in the back is Avike, Jerry Avike, the Dutch player for Orange County SC. As there you get a look at Robert Castellanos for Los Dos, retreating here early on. OCSC, very explosive team, Albert. They can attack you so quickly.
Oh yeah, you have to be aware. A lot of technical ability, so therefore there's a lot of spark, a lot of creative play, a lot of cheekiness. So you're going to see on both ends, because both of these teams have those type of caliber players that will develop anything out of nothing and potentially create opportunities for scoring.
And the first corner kick of the night going to be awarded to OCSC, so the home team looks to get on the scoreboard first. These two franchises just 35 miles apart. Every time they score off, it's not just a game, it's an event.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be fun. I mean, I remember thinking back when we were playing cross-town rivals. I mean, obviously, it's a special night. You always get up for those games. You always want to make sure that you're on your game, you're sharp, and you really want to showcase your talents in these type of games.
This is Oscar Sorto playing his former team tonight. Several Orange County players used to suit up for Los Dos, and that's what happens when you're just miles apart. Player will get waived or released by one team, and he'll hook on with the next right down the road.
It's all about development. I mean, all these players, if they don't have a chance with one franchise, one team, they're going to look for the next best opportunity. And if it happens to be a cross-town rival, hey, why not?
OCSC was working inside the box. Now they send it out. Pineda corrals it, and they'll work from up top. Good tempo set early here by the home team.
Yeah, I mean, Drew, as we mentioned earlier, and we saw some footage 2 weeks ago, these teams matched up. I saw a lot of creative play, a lot of touches, a lot of cohesion between the midfielders. You're going to see a lot of the same type of style tonight, especially with a similar lineup, and especially with now Ariel Lassiter up top. I really hope he shows his experience. He's been touted as a potential first-team player. So exciting stuff for him as an opportunity. Obviously, he has a lot of pressure, pressure from his father. I mean, I go back with Ray Lassiter many years. So essentially, he's going to come in and potentially show his worth.
Alvarez had it taken away. OCSC controlling for much of the action so far, but now Los Dos trying to counter and able to collect quickly. OCSC once again. Keep in mind the first home game for the team in black. They have played the entire season so far on the road because they've been waiting for this stadium to finally take shape.
Sure, and that's important. I mean, the fact that they've gotten points off the road and they've actually gotten experience on the road, and they come back now to a home base that they're going to be able to cement and really have that local crowd support. It's going to be a difference maker for that team.
And we've got a whistle as Lacroix was in on the action there. And now attacking from the left side, this is Joe Franco. Franco, a good, nice cross and a shot. First one of the match is corralled nicely by Eric Lopez. That is why he is in the starting lineup tonight.
Oh yeah, very well kept there by the goalie for LA. But touching base on the OC developing play there, I mean that was a great pass between a couple of the attackers here, Alvarez and Van Evich. Great opportunity for OC. I mean, I like how they touched the ball. They set up the midfielders for a shot. I hope to see more of that. So that's going to be great opportunities against LA.
OC with 7 points so far this year. Not bad for playing 4 matches on the road. 2-1-1. Wins over Reno and Portland. Is now on the far side. Oscar Sorto. Whistle there. And the ball will go over to Los Dos. So right now, Los Dos off to that slow start. They are 9th right now in the Western Conference. Finished last year, though, 12-7 and 11, and usually one of the top scoring teams in the league. Working now from the left, here's Zubak. Zubak with a little time and space, sends it back out. Villarreal. And a little stationary right now is the offense for Los Dos. Cross, nobody there, and OC able to control.
I like what I see there from Los Dos. There are a lot of one-touch, two-touch play. But the speed of play, obviously, as you mentioned before, you have a 19-year-old average of age, 22. I mean, you're going to see a certain speed to the game that's going to be different for most teams. And as we see the replay here, I mean, as I mentioned before, the type of setup that we have here from OC, it really reflects the style of play that they're really implementing for their season. A lot of touches, a lot of creativity, a lot of shots. So hopefully it comes into fruition with a couple of goals.
Here's Mendiola now. And the defense back in place for OC. Now work from the right side. Zubak once again. Zubak has been active here in the opening minutes for Los Dos. That a dangerous ball right there. Anytime it comes off the foot of Zubak, the ball just manages to do some things. Albert, you got to be really careful.
Yeah, I mean, their backline, OC's backline has to be careful with this type of player. Uncertain with the type of play that he'll have. I mean, you never know. He'll be surprised with a certain touch, and he'll probably take a shot on goal. So I always have to be alert against Zubak.
Villalobos, his pass was intercepted, and now Los Dos tries to collect once again, working out of the center circle. This is Mendiola. With the wind here tonight, as vicious as it is whipping big time, 25 to 30 miles an hour in the midfield. How does that affect the play if you're a player?
It affects greatly. I mean, you want to keep the ball on the ground. Whenever you have aerial battles here with the type of wind that you have, I mean, it's uncertain you'll reach your pass. And then it'll slow the game down. Obviously, it's going to be tough to run against the wind. But most of the time, you try to combat that by keeping the ball on the ground and keeping short touches and obviously working as a different formation moving forward.
Ball will be thrown in now. This is Alex Suarez, the midfielder. You get a look at Lacroix, former University of Pennsylvania star, suiting up for OC. Now from the right side. Ball on the cross, and having to come out that time was Lyon. Play still alive, and Los Dos trying to get on the board with an early goal. In position, the shot just a little bit high, but the Galaxy 2 making it clear that they are going to attack. Is Jamison got a good foot on it.
Oh yeah, looking at the replay here, Zubak, as we mentioned before, excellent pass to Lassiter. Unfortunately came up short, but then we had a chance here because immediately the ball was recovered and a shot was taken. So LA's really showing their presence here in the first few minutes.
First corner kick on the way for Los Dos. Keep in mind the wind blowing out, so it'll be much tougher for them on these opportunities here tonight. Look at the ball just kind of get stalled right in the air. And now the shot on center. is just a bit high by Fuji as he gets his first touch of the night. But you saw how the wind just killed that ball in flight.
It's definitely a factor. I mean, we're going to see it all night, obviously, and it's a cool weather. Obviously, it's an ideal temperature to play, but the ball needs to be kept on the ground. And last year, maybe he could have stretched his leg out, maybe he could have slid a little bit to add that poaching opportunity to score a goal. But he just came up short, and then Jamison had an excellent opportunity. He took a shot, but it reflected, and then created a corner kick for LA.
Keep in mind, both these teams coming off a bye week, so the legs should be very fresh here tonight. But they did meet a couple weeks ago. It was a 1-1 tie and a very hard-fought game. So they've had a chance to kind of get a feel for each other, which just makes tonight so much more interesting.
Yeah, we mentioned that before. I mean, how important it is to have a bye week. I mean, early on in the season, you really don't want one. You don't want to lose any momentum you've been able to carry off. But having both teams coming off a bye, I mean, you have fresh legs. You have a lot of energy. You have a lot of opportunity. So we're going to see a lot of activity tonight.
Alvarez couldn't get past the defensive wall for Los Dos. This is Joe Franco, former Big West Defensive Player of the Year at Cal State Northridge. Now Victor Pineda, future star midfielder for OC.
It's interesting to watch, looking at these lineups. I mean, having all these homegrown players in the academy coming from California. I mean, you have all these cities here listed, and the ages that they're averaging in their 20s. It's a lot of promise for the future of the USL and for the MLS. I mean, seeing that, back 20 years ago, you didn't have this, and you didn't have these players coming up and having these opportunities to play at such a high level at such an early age. I mean, there was far and few in between local players, maybe a handful of them who got to even have a chance to even aspire to play in the MLS.
In your opinion, is there an area more fertile with young soccer talent in the country than this area of Southern California?
Well, that's tough. I mean, I would say Chicago has a great presence, and obviously Florida has a huge presence. I mean, I'm a little biased on that end, but as we see the attacking play, I mean, a lot of speed on these players.
Van Eyck, the shot off the post, and dodging a bullet is Los Dos here early on as Lopez was beaten.
That was an excellent attempt there by OC. We were just talking about the speed of play, and they come out so fast sometimes it's tough to actually get interrupted with the play. But that's the type of action you're going to see all night from these players. These caliber players, they're going to come out with technical games that and moves that they're going to allow you to come in and score.
Here's Avac now trying to center it, sneaking one through that time, and this time Eric Lopez in position. Here's a look at the ball just a few inches to the right.
Yeah, we were talking about our player to watch. I mean, he almost finished there, Lacroix. I mean, beautiful left foot strike. I mean, unfortunately, it ricocheted off the post. But again, this type of attacking flow that you have from both of these teams constantly throughout the game. And going back to what you mentioned, Drew. So you have California as one of the top tier when it comes to producing talent. New York, we can't say that New York is not there. We have the main cities are producing excellent talent, but California for some reason has always had a slight notch on the rest of the country based on their development and their production of quality players.
13th minute here in Southern California. OC and Los Dos. No goals on the board so far, but a near goal in just the last minute for the home team. As we've got a whistle, Los Dos will get it set up, looking for that first road victory of the season.
Good look there from Villarreal. I mean, I've seen him get numerous touches in the first 12 minutes. Quality player. He knows how to hold the ball well. He's a workhorse in the midfield. Two-way player, most definitely. But he's the type of player that you want to see move up and get a lot of experience in these leagues, because he's the type of player that he'll literally pivot the whole game through him on any given day. So excellent player to watch here moving forward.
Zubac got it on the second try, and let's see if a corner kick will be awarded to Los Dos here. They'll do it from the other side of the field, so that should be a little bit more favorable as far as the wind is concerned.
Yeah, he might be able to whip it in a little quicker. I mean, he's definitely going to have more momentum on the ball here. Hopefully they'll look for an aerial Lassiter coming in and capitalize with the header.
Ball sent out. Los Dos now sends it to the right side. This is Villarreal. The American forward now picked up. Mendiola collects. Far post. And this one sails out. It'll be a goal kick for OC, but a good chance that time for Los Dos.
Oh, yeah. Villarreal got knocked here. That was definitely a clear foul. But the referee gave him an advantage. He went in and obviously let him play, and that was an excellent cross as well by Los Dos, but, I mean, he couldn't capitalize.
That play happens in the later minutes. Is it more likely to be called?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say yes. I mean, that could be called because at the end of the day, that's a free kick that's very close and dangerous. So a player would want to have that type of call called.
Now on the far side, Villalobos. Last year, played for the Tulsa Roughnecks, sends it in for OC. Very good tempo set so far in this match. OC in black, Los Dos in the white. Drew Felios alongside Albert Munoz. A fabulous night of action around the league in USL. It's been such a great season so far to watch and to cover as Lacroix goes down. And hopefully that is not serious for OC because he is down right now and he's not getting up.
Yeah, as you mentioned before, I mean, that was a great attempt by LA on the last couple of plays, and there's been great momentum so far in the games. They need to wind down a little bit and calm the actual style of play. They're both running up and down, a lot of movement in the midfield. But players like Lacroix need to come up, obviously Zubak, the players we mentioned before that really have a presence in these teams to really have some leadership and really slow down the tempo and really get a lot of touches in for their teams. Right now everyone's pacing, everyone's racing to actually get something going. So hopefully they'll slow down a little bit, you know, capture the actual momentum and then go from there.
Take a look at the cast of characters for Los Dos. So many academy players looking to get into the act tonight. And we want to remind fans to stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 o'clock Eastern Time on SiriusXM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget, SiriusXM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check out uslsoccer.com for dates and times.
Yeah, but Lopez getting a lot of airtime here. I hope Lacroix is not injured. I mean, that he came in for a challenge. He tried to obviously beat the defenders to get the ball in, but we haven't been able to see what's the latest with him, if he got up, if he's walking, if he's hurt. But hopefully it's nothing serious.
Coach Logan Paws has created a great environment here at OC. In his first season, sounded so enthusiastic when we talked to him earlier in the week. Played his college soccer at North Carolina. Spent all those years in the Chicago Fire organization. This is the guy that they wanted to lead this USL franchise.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, Logan Paws has it all. I mean, he has that playing experience. He has that leadership role he had at Chicago Fire for many years as a captain. He comes in now with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy to really guide these young players and in the same path that he had 10, 15 years ago. So I couldn't agree with you more than he's a present coach to be had here in this club.
Now it's OC. Trying to pick up the pace just a little bit on the far side. It'll sail out, and the home team will throw it in. So Lacroix going down for OC. And game getting a little bit physical now on both sides. Lots of open space on the left side of the field as the flag goes up. OC was trying to attack.
Yeah, we haven't seen if Lacroix is actually still in the game. I mean, it looks like he actually stepped out and maybe got subbed out. Unfortunately, I mean, player to watch. I mean, we were enthusiastic to watch him tonight, but unfortunately, he seems like he got knocked and he hasn't continued.
Now it's Los Dos working on the far side. Oscar Sorto lets the ball sail out. Sorto playing his former team. The Galaxy 2 had 4 appearances in MLS in his career. And it looks like we're going to have a substitution coming in for OC here in just a moment.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for OC. I mean, they were capturing some momentum with Lacroix up top. coming off a couple goals. I mean, that's always harsh on a team. But hey, it happens. Injuries happen, and obviously you have to acclimate yourself to these type of situations. On the flip side, LA in the last couple of minutes has really, captured the ball. They really slowed down the pace. They're looking to touch the ball amongst all their midfielders. They're trying to really look up for those point men up top, Lassiter's, the Zubaks, to really come and check into the ball, turn, obviously, release the ball and look for that wall pass and potentially get a scoring shot. But for now, wins the factor. Long balls obviously aren't going to be favorable. So they really have to try to keep the ball on the ground to really, capture some momentum on the team.
Saw that long ball by Castellanos just sail to the left and go out of bounds. Wind continuing to pick up here tonight in Southern California. Rain is in the forecast, but we have been spared so far. So the objectives of this OCSC team, obviously a big night tonight. They want to compete and win, but development is always a focus. Whenever you're talking USL soccer, you always got to keep that in mind. It's not always the final score that determines how far you came as a club, is it?
Correct. And both these teams are perfect examples of the two teams that want to have that rivalry, but at the same time they want to have the development be a factor more important than the final outcome. Because ultimately, all these players are going to have the opportunity to show, but they all want to make do with their time. They want to obviously emphasis on their minutes. They want to develop obviously the best formation possible. So it's a great showcase to watch. I mean, it's crosstown rivals, but at the same time, you have 20-year-olds, which I keep emphasizing the fact that they're 20-year-olds and they get to play at this level. All of them are at that age. So it's a beautiful thing to watch, Drew.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch the growth of this young Los Dos team, but at times it has also tried the patience of head coach Mike Munoz. You go with the young roster, and of course you build for the future, but at times there's growing pains, and we've seen a little bit of indecisiveness in the lineup for Los Dos this year. They're trying to find that nucleus and really trying to build. They just have not hit their peak thus far.
Correct, and it takes years sometimes. I hate to say. I mean, sometimes a span of 3 to 4 years, you'll see a team develop.
Now attacking from the right side. This is Lacroix once again back into the game. A good sign for OC as that ball sails out of bounds. Now that's actually not Lacroix, a different player in the game for OC. Is number 19. That is Fernandez, who has checked in. So we'll make a note of that.
Yeah, Fernandez, striker, obviously he's going to come in and he's going to actually provide a spark. I mean, he's going to come off with a little bit of pressure to try to replace Lacroix. Hopefully he integrates himself pretty quickly to make sure there's no gap or space in between Lacroix's exit.
Polito Fernandez. Have some big-time responsibility tonight. As Lacroix, the top scoring threat for OC, not in the game right now, going down about 10 minutes ago. Now here comes OC. A little bit of momentum in the midfield. Leading the way is Pineda. And Avike. Ball deflected that time. Los Dos trying to stay with him. The midfield clearly the strength of OC, but another whistle, and so far the whistles have not gone the way of the home team.
A lot of energy from Avak. I mean, interesting player. I've seen him on the left wing here. He is a natural lefty. He's looking obviously to really penetrate the flank, create chaos on the defensive side here for Los Dos. I like what I see so far. I mean, I haven't seen him play much in the past, so I'm looking at a couple of new touches that he's had really show his experience coming from the European leagues. He's really come in and obviously been an integral part of this team. So it's always good to see this type of player come in and fully engage in this type of team atmosphere.
Mendiola and Fuji, nice combo for Los Dos, working in the center circle. But this one is lost, and now an opportunity for Fernandez. But on a play like that, he should probably try and maintain possession a little bit longer, as the home team will get it on the throw-in.
Sure, and going back to that comment you mentioned about the time it takes for these teams to develop. 3 to 4 years sometimes is due time for a team to really create that core, the nucleus like you mentioned, because it's gonna take years. It's gonna take years for teams to get used to each other, the players to develop, to really become comfortable in their shell. So I mean, it's great to watch. Obviously it's frustrating as a coach or maybe as a team member to watch the development aspect, but in the greater scheme, you're going to obviously see a better league. You're going to see a better quality. You're going to see development. You're going to see a lot of attraction from global players coming in, as we've seen in other teams. So overall, everything we're watching is positive.
Lostos now attacking. Zubac collects once again, trying to sneak it through, but Pineda, a good heads-up play, deflects it with his right foot. And OC holding their ground here in the 25th minute. Now the counter, quickly. Van Avijk, the Dutch player, trying to square one up. The shot is deflected inside the box. A good job by Lostos, but I was surprised at how quickly Van Avijk was able to beat the defense.
That was a great opportunity by Van Avijk. I mean, he really cut in from the left-hand side. He set up his shot. I mean, unfortunately, the angle he took was a little wide. But like I said before, I mean, interesting player. He has a lot of exciting moves, speed. He's a penetrator. So we're definitely going to be watching him tonight for additional plays like this.
Here he is again, Van Avijk. He has been relentless in the first half. Now works to his left. Tried the cross. Came up just a little bit short. OC will kind of restructure here with Franco. Alvarez. Little hesitation. Flicks it to his left. Franco tries to sneak one through once again. Open for a moment. Missing him was Pineda, but Pineda taking his time. And now it's Pineda once more handling for OC.
Great cross ball there.
Crossfield pass. Now taken in from the left. Near handball. Should have been called, was not. And it'll be taken in by Lopez. And let's see, do we have a late whistle here? I believe we do.
Looks like he's calling a penalty kick. A ricochet off his arm. Oh yeah, I believe this is a penalty kick.
Well, OC was calling for it. It came in just a little bit late, but clearly it went off the arm of a white jersey, and we're going to have a free kick here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, penalty kick. I mean, it's unfortunate for LA. I mean, they've been playing well overall. But it seems like he's calling a penalty kick here in favor of OC. Yeah, the LA players are gonna argue that to as long as they can. That's always a frustrating call. It's a ricochet. I mean, it's not intentional, but at the end of the day, it's a handball, and it's in the box. So Fuji, I mean, it seems that Fuji as a captain has come in and really try to put his captain power to try to enforce himself, but it's not gonna happen.
And Van Avijk is going to do the honors. Here's one more look. Right there.
Yeah, that's the ricochet off his hand. That's a penalty kick.
Jerry Van Avijk, the Dutch midfielder, squares one up, and the first goal of the match for OC. It's 1-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Goal scored by number 11, Jerry Van Avijk.
Wasn't until the 28th minute, but the first goal in the new stadium scored by Jerry Van Avijk.
Oh yeah, beautiful strike. Penalty right to the right-hand side. A perfect placement on this penalty kick. Ideally, a right footer comes in and places it just like he did now, so he's going to carry off this momentum. He deserves a goal. He's been playing really well. Perfect allocated player to take this penalty kick. So great job for OC. He's going to hopefully keep that energy up the rest of the game. He's going to be a threat the whole night.
OC given an opportunity, able to cash in.
It's going to be interesting to see how LA rebounds from this goal. LA's had momentum the whole first half, but unfortunately OC now with this pressure now from a couple of their players, and now with this goal, yeah, I mean, these type of players are going to happen. So crosses, attempts, shots, definitely dangerous.
Take a look at some of the debris right now on the field. It has been a festive night so far, and it's tying up the goalie, Eric Lopez, with the streamers at his feet. But that goal gets the crowd into it here in the first half, and the grounds crew comes out to collect some of those streamers on that far left side. Yeah,
I've seen that happen a time or two in my past. It definitely interferes with the game, so it's good that they clean it up. But it definitely reflects the entertainment that they're having as fans. They really come in and throw these streamers. Obviously, they're chanting. So there's a lot of support from the fans for these local clubs, which is great, which is half the battle. I mean, you have these local supporters coming in with their families, with the kids, with the future, the generations coming in. They're really aspiring to be professional soccer players, to really support that local club. So it's great to watch, and it's obviously entertaining.
Early lead for OC. Remember, they won this match twice last year and then tied earlier this year. They have not lost to Los Dos in quite a while. OC gathers it once again. They have controlled most of the tempo here tonight. Pineda tries to center it. And now OC able to reset. That left side has been lethal. Franco holds it once again. Now hands it off. Pineda. Deflected. And now back up. Los Dos will try and counter. And they have got some numbers. But a good job getting back. Sorto just got on his horse that time, number 2.
That was a great attempt there by Ariel, but beautifully swept from the OC defender. Ariel Lassiter coming in. I mean, he shows a lot of strength and speed. He's had a couple of glimpses here, but OC here obviously has a huge opportunity.
Out of the goal, the long shot goes in for OC. The goalie comes out. It was exposed, and OC able to take advantage to go on top 2-0. A gamble by Lopez does not pay off, and tremendous recognition by the home team.
Just one beautifully strike here from Van Eyck. He's coming in, obviously he's showing his presence. Beautifully placed ball. I mean, almost looked like he was going to hit the crossbar and go out, but actually hit the crossbar and went in. Entertaining play. I mean, he took the opportunity. It was a mistake from the defenders, Lopez, and he came in and capitalized with a chip over the goalie. So a very entertaining goal. I mean, absolutely, he's on fire. So I would love to see number 11 score another goal tonight.
I'll tell you what, Jerry Van Eyck, he has been the story in this first half for OCSC. A 2-goal lead, and now big-time advantage for the home team. As Juarez works from the bottom of your screen. Fans still getting settled in this brand new stadium, as
still
you can see. Fabulous facility, and we've got a whistle inside the center circle, and the ball will belong to Los Dos. But how about OC? They have really kind of been the first puncher so far in this match, would you say, Albert?
Absolutely. I mean, they've only created opportunities. LA has not really reached the goal. I mean, maybe the first couple of minutes they had a chance through they're playing Zubac, who had an opportunity with Ariel on the top, but OC has not only attempted and created, but they've capitalized, which is more important. And as players like Van Eyck, who has scored 2 goals tonight, has really shown that they're going to take advantage of any opportunity that they get, even if it's a matter of a chip that's 30 years out. Beautiful goal he just scored. I mean, I wish we had a replay to watch it, but to really focus on the actual lead up of it. But nevertheless, I mean, beautiful ball work here from OC and developing play.
Van Eyck once again unable to control this one. How surprised were you to see Lopez come outside the 18 for Lostos on that last play. We'll talk about that in just a moment as OC gets busy once again. Now from the right side, the ball in the box, scores!
You have an auto goal by Juarez. I mean, unfortunately for LA, but what a lead up by OC, just like you were mentioning. A lot of ball work, a lot of touches here, and pressure, especially from the OC attackers. They've really shown that they're relentless. They're not going to stop. They're in the 33rd minute, and they're still attacking the players. They're up by 2 goals, now 3. Unfortunately, Lopez made that mistake that he made a ricochet in the last couple of plays, but he really couldn't do anything on this last play where it was a auto goal by the LA defender. But great developing play by OC here in the last couple of minutes.
A 3-0 match so far. OC really taking it to Lostos right now. Here's the last goal.
Beautiful lead up here. Alvarez, great pass out wide. And one-touch pass, I mean, all you could do is create danger. So that's the type of play that you want from your attackers. You never know who's going to come and ricochet off the ball, who's going to actually penetrate and score. So that's the ideal cross you want from your flank players. And it turned into a goal. So, I mean, obviously, great team aspect here, both on OC's part. LA obviously needs to step up, and they obviously have quality players to do it with. But at this point, OC has obviously more possession and obviously the score of 3-0 in their favor.
So in the 35th minute, Charles Lyon has not been very busy here over the past 20 minutes as OC, the offense clicking on all cylinders right now, and they've got a 3-0 lead over Lostos. Drew Felios with Albert Munoz. It is a windy night here in Southern California, and right now OC kind of using that wind to their advantage. The ball is playing tricks here tonight on this field, and Lostos at times has not really been able to get a handle on it, especially on the second goal when the goalie Lopez came outside the 18.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what he was trying to do there. I mean, he got caught in miscommunication. I mean, he probably thought he was going to attempt to try to cover the defender there, but players like Van Eyck, who take advantage of these plays, are going to capitalize. So unfortunately, he was out of his goal, and he struck it well and hit the post, and it went in.
This OC team has created tremendous competition on their roster. Players vying for starting spots. And they have just looked like a well-oiled machine so far this season. 2-1-1. All those games on the road, and first game tonight at home. And they have just been explosive. Sometimes you have a team that they've played that many times on the road. They come home, Albert, and they're just ready to break out. There's that moment in the season where things just all click. It appears to be that moment here for OC.
And that's early on. I mean, it's all coming together for them. If they've been playing on the road this long and they come home and they have this type of showing.
Alvarez puts one in the air. The header just a little bit high by Van Eyck. He nearly had the hat trick.
And we're at 36 minutes, and to me, he's potentially the player of the game so far. He has been dangerous. He's well-rounded. I mean, up in the head, aerial battle he just won. The 2 strikes he's had. Just a catchy player. I mean, he's all over the place. He's obviously really energetic. And OC is obviously reflecting based on the score.
So Lostos trailing here, 3-0. Goal kick for Lopez. What do they have to do to kind of swing the tempo in their favor? Because right now they're being dominated.
Oh, absolutely. I would start from try to get some decisive management here in the midfield. It doesn't seem like they're actually keeping possession of the ball. They're playing very reactive. I mean, they're obviously trying to not get scored on at this point. LA needs to really find themselves in the attacking third and need to get these players really moving. Players like Mendiola and Jameson on the flanks, they need to come together and provide more opportunities for players like Lassiter and Zubac, who have to eventually come down and receive the ball. I mean, if they don't start doing these type of changes and adjustments, it could get really, really sad for LA in the second half. I mean, if OC keeps up the momentum.
Now it's Mendiola working inside the center circle, sent it to his left. And Lostos just unable to really get to that final third. The OC defense been very quick to react here tonight.
Yeah, OC is a very aggressive team at the moment. I mean, they're riding high on the momentum of 2 goals, 3 goals. They're relentless in the back. I mean, they're not giving LA a chance to breathe. They're obviously clustered in the back, playing well on their defensive side. So well-rounded performance so far in the first 40 minutes from the game from OC.
Villarreal struggling to keep it, now working just outside the 18. Cut off once again, Los Dos is, and OC just a little bit quicker to the ball right now here in the 39th minute, leading 3-0. Trip there, and we've got a whistle.
You're seeing some frustration now from LA. I mean, these type of fouls, obviously 1, 2, 3 back-to-back fouls from players like Villarreal, who's a talented player. I mean, he's just frustrated because he obviously wants the ball. He wants to create more. He wants to have better chances for his team. But they need to be careful. They don't want to get yellow cards early on. They want to make sure that they can have a clean slate to the end of the game.
All set out here, and Los Dos will toss this one in. So far controlled by OC. 3 goals here in the first half. It has been an explosive night for Jerry van Awijk, their Dutch midfielder, one of the most exciting players to watch in the USL. He has done it all here so far. 2 goals in the first half. OC, a near chance there, but collected by Fuji as he sends it upfield. And now attacking is Los Dos. Numbers, Lassiter tries to squeeze through, and the ball corralled in by Charles Lyon, the goalie.
More energy there from LA in the last few minutes, as we were mentioning OC's presence. But when they show and they get together, there's a glimpse of brilliance. I mean, Lassiter combines with Zubac well. Fuji from the back, he starts playing a long pass. Mendiola and Jamieson, they get their touches in. I see the potential in LA. It just seems to be outplayed tonight by OC, who's far greater when it comes to possession and obviously capitalizing on opportunities.
Lyon that time goes to the long ball. Well, that ball went a long way considering how stiff the wind has been here tonight.
Yeah, we have to understand that plays a factor. I mean, like you mentioned, any aerial ball is going to be tough to control. And as we see that last replay here by Lassiter's attempt, I mean, he has so much potential, so much energy, strength. He just really needs to find himself in front of the goal with a good shot, and he'll most likely get a goal in for LA.
Now Mendiola in the midfield. Mendiola's got to have a bigger role. Here's Suarez, takes a shot. Ball kind of got caught in the wind. Good job by Lyon to climb the ladder and knock it on top.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like Mendiola saw him when he was going to cross the ball. He was trying to read the play, as you see in the replay. That was a great attempt to catch him off his line, and exceptional defensive play and block from Lyon.
Charles Lyon out of Marquette University. Was once a draft pick by the Seattle Sounders. He's found his way here in Orange County. Corner kick for Los Dos. And they have just had a hard time really setting things up in the box here tonight. Juarez. Do you think, Albert, that the wind has been the biggest factor in this game, and will Los Dos benefit from it more in the second half?
I don't think either team will benefit from the win factor. I think they both need to understand that they need to keep the ball on the ground. And I'm noticing LA trying to play long ball more than OC. They need to keep the ball on the ground and work through their midfield, through their players like Fuji, who obviously Villarreal, talented players who know how to hold the ball. So win is a factor for both teams. I don't think it's a benefit for either of them. But either way, OC with their goals, obviously they're outplaying in every single way LA tonight.
Now keep in mind that wind is blowing right to left, so definitely is a bit of an edge to the home team. Los Dos though trying to overcome it here as Mendiola hit the center, and again Charles Lyon able to run up and get his hands on it, sending it out now on that far side. 44th minute, nearing the end of the first half. And OC still with a 3-0 lead. Drew Felios along with Albert Munoz. The I-405 rivalry controlled by the home team up to this point.
Yeah, so far in the first half, I mean, we're almost at the end of it. A lot of attacking play from OC, a lot of pressure, a lot of possession. I mean, I'm curious to see what the stats are going to reflect. But either way, LA going into the half now, down 3-0. They really need to, come together, analyze their strengths, and obviously improve on their weaknesses, which is obviously being a little bit more attacking-minded, a lot of more possession when it comes to the midfielders, more aggressive. I mean, they need to be faster. They need to be on edge, ready to really pounce on any ball. But again, OC has been stellar in keeping possession. They've been stellar in creating opportunities. Their key players have really come up and showed forth for the home crowd today. So excited to see what the second half is going to bring, but hopefully LA really picks it up to make this game even more entertaining.
Solomon Ubias, have not called his name often here for OC, but definitely a key player for OCSC. High expectations, member of the Mexican youth national team. As time here in the first half winds down. Albert Navarro, part of the Jacksonville Armada in the NASL one season ago. He is another key defender for OC. As if you're in the stadium right now, you got to love what these young men have brought to the field in the first half. You just start playing a new stadium, it's a good way to do it. OCSC has really come out with a vengeance here tonight.
I mean, I would feel the same way. If you have a brand new stadium and a home crowd to come home to, it's definitely a game to get up for. And they're, like you said, they really showed well. They're really putting it all together in this first half. I mean, their key players have come in and capitalized, winning balls left and right, obviously scoring goals. So exciting times for OC. I mean, they're a franchise. The team's growing. Everyone's really developing, and positive all around for this club.
Now send it to the far side. Still time for one more opportunity before intermission. Villalobos getting his team in position into the cross. And right there, the shot on goal. And a great deflection by Lopez. Tremendous hands as they squared that one up perfectly.
And Van Eyck found himself again with another shot on goal. And almost a goal. So a dangerous player. I mean, that player cannot be left alone in any time near the box. He will capitalize on his shots. Lopez did step up, and you see on the replay here, beautifully crossed play. But look, left foot shot. I mean, it was going to go into the goal, and Lopez came up with an excellent stop.
As the seconds tick down, and that should just about do it here in the first half. As Los Dos trying to fend off the onslaught of OCSC, playing in their new stadium. There's the hero so far, Jerry Van Eyck, the midfielder. 2 goals in the first half, leading OCSC to the 3-0 lead over Los Dos. We're at intermission, and we have got halftime festivities coming up next from Southern California.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it. First impression. My way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back to Orange County, California. We're at halftime, and OCSC right now taking it to Los Dos, their arch rival, with a score of 3-0. Alongside Albert Munoz, I'm Drew Felios. If you're Los Dos, you're heading into intermission looking for some kind of silver lining because it has been all OCSC. Let's take a look at the stats here at halftime, and what do you think, Albert, has been the difference thus far?
Well, start off the bat, I mean, you have possession coming in off almost 60-40 here from OC over LA. That reflects on the shots, even though they've been equal, but you have obviously a little bit higher on the quality when it comes to shots on target from the OC side, and at the end of the day, you have 3-0 in the goals.
So 11-11 even in shots, but obviously what is on the scoreboard, the biggest number of possession also has been a factor, nearly 60% for OC. And let's take a look at the standings now from around the league. How much does this match here tonight mean? San Antonio FC right now up top on the standings in the USL and the Western Conference. Any other team catch your eye here, Albert?
Well, it's always good to see yourself on the list, but I always like number 4 here, Rio Grande Valley Toros. I mean, exceptional play, a lot of talented youthful players. It's always great to see and check yourself throughout the beginning of the season, but it's not too worrisome if you're not on the list either, because obviously this is ever-changing, but it's good to see on a spectrum, to see on a range, to see where you stand when it comes to your record.
All right, that's the Western Conference. Peeking now at the Eastern Conference. Look at Charleston and the Tampa Bay Rowdies, their first year in the league, playing fabulous soccer.
Yeah, I mean, and like I mentioned before, this is ever-changing. So we had teams like New York Red Bulls who have had an exceptional start to the season, and obviously Louisville as well. They've come down a little on the rankings, but it's early on. We still have a lot of soccer coming up in the season.
Well, OC, this is their first home game this season in USL play, and they're making the most of it. 3-0 over Los Dos. We'll have more from Southern California right after this.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional third division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit usld3.com.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
As the sun sets here in Southern California, OCSC takes a 3-0 lead into the second half over Los Dos. Drew Felios with Albert Munoz. The I-405 rivalry heated up in the first half as OC explodes for 3 goals, and they were led by their midfielder, Jerry Van Avike. He was absolutely tremendous. Let's take a look at OC on the attack here in the first half.
Yeah, this is early on here. We have players like Van Avike really showing their worth here, taking shots, just creating pressure for LA, against LA. But typically highlights from the beginning, LA developing a couple of plays here. Not much much else from these players. OC really took care of the business the rest of the game in the first half. But a lot of corners, a lot of set pieces, a lot of chances on both ends. Shots, equal shots. We had 11 shots on both teams, as we saw in the stats. But this player right here, number 11, really developing play for OC. He was an assist man. He was a goal scorer. Really contender for player of the match so far.
Lacroix, the shot off the post there. He would leave the game just minutes later. And not many good, solid chances for Los Dos. Just a little bit short. Here, player goes down. They don't get the whistle, and Van Avijk would take advantage from here. Big shot, deflected here, but he just kept on attacking. Number 11 was lethal. And eventually a handball right there in the box leads to the Van Avijk shot, and he cashes in.
And that's where he started. I mean, he started a penalty kick. He scored it, placed it really well. And then obviously from there, it's the Van Avijk show. I mean, he, again, take a great shot, great penetrating flank play. Really being a force for his team, a leader by example. And this is his second goal, which is an exceptional goal. Terrible mistake from Lopez coming out, trying to help out. And we have another play here, which was a ricochet, an outer goal. But going back to that other goal, Lopez comes out, and then Van Avijk sees him out. He chips the ball. Great goal. Contending goal. 3-0 for both for OC. Exceptional showing so far.
So Los Dos trying to rebound in the second half. It has not been a kind 2017 so far for Los Dos, and the road ahead does not get much easier, taking on the Real Monarchs on May 10th, just days away. And then you got New York, Rio Grande Valley. Really the tough meat of that schedule is here in the next month.
It's definitely coming up. Rio Grande, like I mentioned, New York, Phoenix Rising with their superstars. I mean, Seattle Sounders. It's going to be a tough show for them in the next couple of weeks, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to step up and really show their worth. I mean, you have a lot of youth players that are coming in, quality players, technical sound players. So it's going to be entertaining for the season, for what's to come.
And for OC, here's a look at what they've got on the slate. Head coach Logan Paw says, we feel like we are a team that is just about to explode. And they have done just that in the first half. Here's the road ahead.
Yeah, and they have, out of the 5 games, they have 3 at home, which is going to have a lot of opportunity to really showcase at home with their crowd.
So there's the player of the first half, Jerry Van Avijk, with those 2 goals. Knew he was exciting to watch, but he has just been relentless in the first 45 minutes.
On fire today. Entertaining player. I mean, I wasn't expecting this much talent from him. I mean, I really had heard of him, but he's really proving me wrong to be the top player for OC tonight. Lacroix came in with a lot of hype. Unfortunately, he got hurt. Fernandez came in and to replace him, but I'm really interested to see what's going to happen in the second half for LA's recovery. If they're really going to step up and really attempt something different, or if it's going to be more of the same with a long ball, the weak play in the midfield, and maybe attempting to get to the attackers. So hopefully there's a little bit of a different formation here going into the second half.
Win still a factor, although it should benefit Los Dos a little bit more. In the second half, they were playing against the wind in the first, as they will send this one downfield.
That is true. I mentioned last in the first half about the win factor that it wouldn't really affect, but it is going in their favor now for LA. They had it against them in the first half, so it is definitely a chance to really redeem themselves when it comes to speed of play. Less energy having to be applied to run against the wind. Those are all key factors, so we'll see how it develops for them, hopefully in their favor.
And just too much space for Van Avijk to operate, although an offside's called there on number 11. Well, you got to think, you got to mark him a little bit tighter if you're Los Dos here in the second half.
That's the tricky part. You could apply maybe a little bit more pressure towards him, but you have other players that are just as important. Alvarez can anyway come in and maybe score a goal. We have Fernandez, Villalobos, Pineda even in the midfield. I mean, it's definitely someone you have to mark a little bit tighter, but you can't forget about the other players that are supporting him.
Now ball sent in the air by Lyon. As Los Dos will try and control it in the center circle. OC Still attacking with that 3-0 lead. Van Avijk now just outside the 18. Here's the first shot. It nearly goes in, and somehow Lopez able to keep it under control.
Lopez is going to have a lot of work tonight. It just seems that OC is going to continue their pressure. Van Avijk is going to come in and really, create that starting spark for the attacking play, which he seems to be falling back more of like a midfielder attacking role. So more of a creator role, a pivotal role, which is exceptional to see because since he's confident with the ball, he has that momentum. He's potentially going to do no wrong tonight.
Raul Mendiola, one of several American players on this Los Dos roster. Los Dos with players from Mexico, France, Hong Kong. When you talk about Rio Fuji, is trying to get through that time was Ariel Lassiter. Lassiter has not been much of a factor thus far, and it looks like number 15 Lassiter for Los Dos just has not really been able to mesh with his teammates up to this point. Has not been able to cash in that critical pass.
He's only had an opportunity to play in 2 games so far. Maybe that's one of the factors. I mean, maybe he's getting acclimated. But his style of play, it requires space. He's a speedy player. He needs space to really touch and run. So when it gets to close quarters, obviously he's confined, so it's very difficult for him to really find his touch. But he has not been a factor tonight. I agree with you. But that type of player, just like his father was in his career, he's a poacher. He's the type of player, he's a target man. All he needs is a poke, and he'll score a goal, and he'll change the game. So maybe Ariel will come in and really light it up in the next couple of minutes for LA, because they really need his experience, his height, his strength, his presence to really be a factor.
Now throw in for Los Dos. Los Dos, one of the most explosive teams in the league last year, 52 goals, led the USL, still looking for their first one here tonight in the brand new stadium, Orange County Great Park for OCSC. It's been a fast track here up to this point, but Los Dos has not been able to consistently mount an attack.
Now, a lot has to do with OC's play, though. Let's give them credit. It seems that they have been outplayed. I mean, so LA maybe against a different type of team, they play a different type of style, but since they have similar styles on both sides, it's tough to really play well when their opponent, OC, is doing that much better. And they're capitalizing on their shots, and obviously they have more momentum and more energy. I want LA to really pick it up and say, hey, let's get the ball, let's touch the ball well, let's keep that momentum going, let's get something going differently than the first half. If not, it's going to be a little bit of the same, and obviously OC is going to continue pressuring them.
Now working inside the circle. Los Dos, a little bit of rhythm here as Lonergan touches. Lonergan lofts one on the cross. OC defense bunched up nicely there as the opportunity coming out is Lyon to get a hand on it, and that's probably the biggest threat Los Dos has had since early in the match. And starting to win some of those 50-50 balls right now.
That's refreshing to see for LA's side. Even though they have to get back on defense right away because OC is relentless, that's good to see that they're actually creating some chances because they need it. They need to actually have some shots. They get the confidence up, and then we have a different matchup here in the second half.
I guarantee you the message from Mike Munoz, the head coach, was, guys, we may not come out of here with a win tonight, but we are not going to lay down.
Oh, yeah. They can't leave with 3-0. I mean, that's a really, really big score. It's hard to come back from it, I understand, but there's a whole second half left, and there's a lot of energy in these players. There's a lot of potential opportunities. So it's really early on to really give up on any scoring opportunities here.
Here's a look at the poke through. Mendiola had a great chance, but again, Lyon has made all the right calls tonight in net.
He was sharp on that come out. Even though LA had a chance, great pass play from Zubac, setting his player Mendiola up for a chance. But Lyon did step up really well there.
There's some very talented goalies for OC. Charles Lyon, though, doing most of the work this season out of Marquette University, drafted by the Sounders, has found a home here in OC. It's got Casey Byers and Michael Suki behind him. asked Coach Paz, do you plan on rotating those goalies? He said, right now Charles is our guy, but we have confidence if he's ever needing of some help, we've got the guys behind him who can really pitch in.
That's very important to have that depth, right? I mean, you never know. Players might get hurt. Hopefully not. They need a rest. But keepers typically don't really have the necessity to really be changed. I mean, they get a lot of confidence and momentum. They rarely get injured. But it's always good to have that type of equal quality in your first and second player when it comes to goalie rotation.
Whistle one more time. As the biggest call in the match was in the first half on a handball, as it was called on Fuji, and it set up the first goal for OC as it was put in by Jerry Van Aveyk. That really got the home team rolling. 2 more goals after that, and that is where we stand right now here in the 53rd minute. This is Villarreal. So skilled one-on-one.
Speaking of skill, I mean, if you look across this roster on both ends, you have almost every single player has an above-average skill set. I mean, meaning they could take on players at any given time. Just like that Jamison player that we just had, you have a lot of these players that can really, turn on a dime and create some kind of technical move out of nothing. So it's entertaining. It's obviously what you need to have a top-tier team. So it's excellent to watch for these 20-year-olds that have these type of skill sets. You have a lot of European and South American influence, so it's different type of flair than the traditional play. But overall, I mean, they put it together, and obviously it shows in their score. And not only that, but like down the season, they're going to obviously have better chances to have better scoring opportunities.
Fernandez once again making things happen for OC as they attack from the left. Here's the cross. In position, the shot right on target. Alvarez got a good foot on it, but again, it was Lopez there in good position.
Excellent attempt here by OC, and great shot by Fernandez. He came out of nowhere with that long, lethal shot. That's why he's coming in for Lacroix, who was injured, and scored and potentially scored that goal, the last shot he took.
Zubac lofts it in the air. Lyon able to easily go up and get it for OC. He's really got a steady influence on OC. Does not panic. I really like his leadership here in this game.
He has a lot of patience with the ball. I mean, he knows when to come out, how to come out. So that influences and gives you a lot of confidence as a team, as a team atmosphere. I mean, you're going to have players that are going to come in and really help you.
It is amazing too, Albert, if you're a goalie, when the goalie makes a mistake, how the foundation, everything just can come apart after that all over the field for a particular team. We kind of saw that in just a moment for Los Dos in the first half, didn't we?
Right. From Lopez, yes, absolutely. I mean, they are the core. The goalies are essentially the core of the team. They're the backbone. So, I mean, whatever goes wrong on their end, unfortunately, falls back on the team. So I do agree with you. Lopez making a couple of mistakes has influenced Los Dos. And on the flip side, we have Lyon, who's been sturdy, stable, confident, and he's really reflecting on his team's performance tonight.
There's Zubac. Zubac has had a few chances for Galaxy 2, and now it's Lonergan. Jamison goes across the field with it. Just feel that Los Dos is one play away from just getting their confidence back in this match. Lassiter, a good guy to get things going, but again, it is taken in by Charles Lyon.
That's exactly what I'm feeling. LA is definitely showing up. They're reacting, which is the most important. And you have players like Lassiter who could take a shot and potentially score a goal like he just did. So yes, I'm noticing a change, more energy, obviously a little bit more aggressive play on their end. Hopefully they keep it up because they'll definitely show on the scoreboard.
Now it's Fernandez. Fernandez inserted the game in the first half. Attacking from the right side. This is Villalobos. Able to get a good foot on it, but this one sails to the left. And he was defended well by Lonergan. Gustavo Villalobos out of Cal State Northridge. Part of Tulsa's Roughnecks franchise last year.
been very stable throughout the game. He's been silent, but I've noticed his touches has been very simple. He doesn't get complicated on the ball, so he's making sure he's getting his teams involved. So I like the way he plays. Villalobos teams up well with his attacking players. He's really well-rounded. As we saw last play, obviously he had a nice cut into the midfielder side, so he could try to get a shot with his left foot, but it was ricocheted off the defender.
Ball sent downfield, headed out by Ubias. Orange County looking for their 3rd win of the season. And here coming out again deep. Saw how far Lopez came out. Wow, Albert, I'm really surprised to see that.
He likes to play with fire, as you can tell. I mean, he likes to come up and he feels confident. He just got caught in the last play when OC scored the goal, but he's the type of player that he likes to come out and show his technical strengths because he knows he's confident with the ball on his feet. So unfortunately, he got caught, but he worked well in this last play he just did.
Line will reset once more. So you see that often with great goalies. Even though they may get burned one time by a play, they're not going to totally stop that style. They're going to continue to play their game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could go back in the history of goalkeepers, and you have plenty of them that, oh, look at this opportunity.
On the run, what a fake! And an empty net goal scored by Fernandez. Tremendous counter by Orange County as they go on top 4-0.
I was just mentioning how Fernandez has really come in and showed his worth with these shots that he's taken. And beautiful pass by Van Eyck for a through ball that has allowed him to really create this one-on-one situation with Lopez, who unfortunately got beat because Fernandez took a proper touch and he placed it well with his left foot. So excellent finish by Fernandez here as a striker for OC, which is now 4-0. Obviously, it's making it more and more difficult for LA to come back. So we'll see how they react to this goal.
So far, it has been clinical. Off the bench tonight, Fernandez able to strike for OC. Here's the goal one more time.
Excellent through ball. I mean, perfect weighted pass by the Belgian Van Eyck, and then perfect finish by Fernandez. I mean, we could have asked for a better touch on his left foot.
Lostos gonna keep on playing here for the next 30 minutes, but obviously that last goal a tremendous blow to any comeback hopes that they had.
That's very tough. 4-0 is going to be very difficult. Hopefully they get a goal or two for their confidence, just for the momentum. But 4-0, I've rarely seen any team come back from that deficit. They still have 30 minutes, but by the way that OC is playing, they're not going to back down.
So Albert, you're watching an OC team that once again played their first 4 matches on the road this year. Finally come back home, explode over Lostos here. This is a team that could be poised for great things here as we're just in early May, got a long season ahead. I really like how this team stacks up from top to bottom. They've got all the elements and they've got guys who really understand their role, don't they?
Correct, and they're playing well together. That's more importantly. They're unison. They're playing as unison. So their midfielders are obviously very sturdy players. They have great possession skills, and you have attacking players that are capitalizing. So you put it all together with a strong goalkeeper in the back. I mean, they really are unstoppable. They could really be a threat for this season.
Here's Lassiter. Lassiter just does not get a shot off. Looks like he should have that time. And again, just out of sync as Zubak couldn't do anything with it. Another opportunity for Lostos that goes by the wayside.
Yeah, if we catch a replay on this, I mean, you'll see Lassiter take a touch. That was a proper touch, but it went a little far for him to really get a shot on goal. Lyon came out well. He blocked the angle, and then he obligated him to really make a cross, which unfortunately didn't come out in any favor for LA. But again, LA is attempting. They're creating. They're getting to their goal. So, I mean, not always lost. I mean, they're obviously getting their reps in.
Now from the right side, shot deflected. Second try off the rebound is too high. Fernandez off the carom, but OC not taking their foot off the gas pedal here in the 62nd minute.
Going back to speaking about Villalobos, I mean, what a great attempt here. Great run down the flank. set himself up with a right-footed shot. I mean, it was a lethal shot that Lopez had to stop. But again, they're not stopping. They're relentless. I mean, it's great to watch a team that's not going to back down. They're up 4-0. They could easily coast, but they're not going to do that because they want to keep practicing their shots. Here we see a replay here, Lasseter's touch. I mean, it was a little long. I mean, maybe a little slighter touch. Could have had the opportunity to make a shot right away, but he did try to come off with a great cross, and he did connect with his striking partner, Zubak, who unfortunately hit it wide. But not a bad attempt by Ariel here.
So, Albert, the individual skill is there for Los Dos, but the chemistry still has room to grow.
Yeah, the momentum's not there. I mean, they're not playing to the point where they're reading each other blindly. They're not playing 1-2 touch soccer. I mean, at this point they're really scrambling to try to keep up, trying to get the ball in the midfield and then hit it and potentially create a one-off opportunity by one of these strikers who, with individualities, will score a goal. So they have a long road. I mean, obviously it's a great team. They have great youngsters, but OC is really performing well tonight.
Talked about the youth system and how strong it is here in the Los Angeles area. Really top-notch. This Los Dos team, an average age of 19 years old. You have a team that young, you're going to definitely experience some growing pains like they are here tonight. Coming off a bye, OC has looked like a well-oiled machine, but Los Dos the entire opposite as they'll get the throw in here from Lonergan.
OC also has a young team, if you think about it. They have a young average age. I'd say probably maybe low 20s.
Here's a shot on goal, and this one sails to the left by Zubak.
So even when you say that the LA team is very young, I mean, obviously understandably they're very young. They're 19, 20 years old, but both teams are young. So we have a lot of growing pains on both ends. So I see it as a bigger picture situation. Both these teams are essentially going to be battling for placement on their rankings, but more importantly, they're going to be developing their players for the next 5 years. Because all these players are going to be jumping up and down to move to the MLS level. They're going to come back to get their reps in the USL and get their experience, obviously build their name. So it's very important that they're all constantly getting their minutes week to week and getting that exposure, which is the more important view of this, and not just a 3-point win on the road. It's the exposure and the development of the players.
Here's Oscar Sorto. Sorto playing his former team tonight. Well, soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. NikeSoccer.com, the website of the official sponsor of the USL. Tremendous partnership with the league. And another chance for OC. Oh, the fans want another one. Fernandez, little hesitation this time. Now from the left side, that one has a little bit too much on it as Carlos Alvarez did the honors and nearly got into the scoring column.
All these attacking players are dangerous. I mean, you have Fernandez coming up with his opportunity here. He's unselfishly tapped the ball to his left. So you have players coming in like Mendiola, who had a left-footed shot. A little wide, unfortunately, but the play is there. The strategy is there. They're leading up with through balls started from players like Van Eyck, who's been stellar tonight. Through ball to Fernandez, who controlled the ball well. He's a target man. He's ever present up front. And OC just keeps on rolling with the opportunities to score.
Monday Atim is in the game right now for OC. He wears number 9, making his debut for Orange County. And this is a guy that this organization is extremely thrilled to have. As you look at Van Eyck working on the far side of the field. Van Eyck already with 2 goals. And I got to ask you, as that ball goes out, how long before you take a guy like Van Avijk out of the game as you can look at a team working here for OC.
That was a great play and that great attempt. And back to your question, I mean, very important to see at this point in time in the game, 60 to 70 minutes is when you see your team starting to fall back, and either you get some injuries or you have some tired legs. So coaches really need to analyze where their weaknesses are at this point, and they'll come and make a change. So to protect a player like Van Avijk, who's played excellent, who probably wants to keep playing, as you can see, his ball work is excellent. He wants to take on players and dribble, hold the ball. Maybe it's smart and prudent to start making changes at this point. So maybe in the next 5 to 10 minutes, if they're continuing to put aggressive play up front, they might pull him out just to rest his legs.
OC with the throw-in. Fernandez sends it back out. And looked like a handball there. As we don't get a whistle, it'll still belong to Los Dos. Actually, the whistle was blown that time, so we'll play on here. So Los Dos trying to get that first road win tonight. Not going to happen. They have been just a different team on the road so far this season. They have struggled there. Lonergan cannot keep it inbounds. Here was a look at the handball that time as it was called on Pineda. This has been one of those matches, if you're OC, that you just take the film and watch it over and over again. They have done things tonight like they want it to be done all season long.
Yeah, they'll go back and basically replay several times so they could really analyze the way they set up their attacks. So they'll try to reenact it through practice. I mean, maybe on a Monday and Tuesday they'll come in and say, hey, interesting play there. No call, no call. They'll go ahead and essentially review the types of attacks that they had to see if they could reenact them through the week to try to implement them again for the next Saturday. So it's very important to watch their tape. Obviously, you see their strengths here when it comes to attacking.
Zubac has got 2 goals this year. Can't get free that time. Marked very tightly here tonight. Zubac had some opportunities in the first half, but has not been able to shake free in the second.
Again, it goes back to the defensive style that OC is bringing. I mean, they're very aggressive when it comes to hounding down their players. They're not giving any breathing room for these players to turn and really take a shot. So it's a positive on their end for OC. Obviously, as you see in the replay here, beautiful attempt here. It looked like he got pulled down here, Fernandez, on the box, but he did drop pretty easily. So that would have been a very difficult call for the referee.
And it looked like a similar play there. And this one looks like it is going to be called on a team. Monday, a team in his debut. And this one could possibly draw a card as well. It does not look like it's going to happen, though, as getting up is Fuji.
See, these are the times where players from OC need to be careful. There's no need to really get a yellow card at this point in time. They're up 4-0. Why would you risk getting yellow cards or red cards or even injuries? I mean, you could injure another player at this point. It's 4-0. They need to be smarter with their moves. A team needs to maybe settle down a little bit, understand that if a player went off, I understand you want to let him go, but you have to make sure that you don't injure someone or even risk getting a yellow or red card.
And you see the blood on the face of Fuji. That will be tended to immediately by the medical staff for Los Dos. So things not getting better at the moment for the visitors. A hostile environment here tonight, and a yellow card was issued to Monday, a team playing in his first action for OC. Villarreal handling for Los Dos. Los Dos a little bit methodical right now at this point as the ball squirts free, and near disaster on that play. And it's the little things that have kind of haunted Los Dos here tonight. Just have not been very careful with the ball. They have not been able to secure it in key situations and moments.
Yeah, a prime example. That's a terrible mistake to have in your back line. I mean, you cannot risk that, and you always have to clear the ball to the side. That was a terrible showing there by a defensive man to go back and risk getting a goal scored by a short pass back to your goalie. That's unacceptable. I mean, that's something that needs to be addressed and cleaned up in the locker room, obviously moving forward during the season. Mistakes will cost you. Obviously, that's a goal right there. Luckily, he came up short. Lopez was able to defend that well.
Adrian Vera trying to get through just a tough back line for Orange County. Now on the far side, this is Villarreal. Villarreal and Mendiola have really left everything on the field here tonight. They are still doing everything they can to get Los Dos on the board, but right now it's just not happening.
And here comes OC, and they're going to come back again and again and again because that's how their style of play is, and that's excellent. They're not going to back down, and they're going to keep practicing their attacking style so they can keep creating scoring opportunities.
Far post, Pineda went with it, set up nicely, and this one is going to be an offsides. Looked like it was set up perfectly, and some smiles from the home team. So I think they knew it. Offsides,
but still excellent play. I mean, look at this lead up across. He chested it down. He got knocked off, and that was a perfectly placed pass for Van Eyck, who came in running, who placed it in so sweetly. So again, it's just the repetition that they have, the style that they want to implement. It's practice at this point. I hate to say it. It's 4-0. I mean, they have no pressure. I mean, obviously they don't want to back down, but they don't have the pressure of having to score. So at this point, it becomes a little easier to create these chances.
Albert, if there's one thing that really stands out in this match, of course, the talent of OC and everything coming together tonight. But, you know, usually any team during the 90 minutes will have some sort of lapse. That just hasn't happened for Orange County tonight. They have been sharp the entire way.
Yeah, that's very important, and that's kudos to the coaching staff, obviously making sure that Logan, obviously, every week is implementing that pressure to make sure that they don't have any interruptions. So it's definitely reflecting the way they play and the outcome of the score.
And running out of room that time was Villarreal. Last time these two teams played 2 weeks ago. It's a record crowd for Los Dos at the StubHub Center Track and Field Stadium. Over 2,000 fans showing up. Another good crowd here tonight. They have been treated to just Orange County domination on both sides. 74th minute, and it's 4-0. 3 goals in the first half, 1 in the second half. And Orange County once again looking for more. Lofting this pass for a team who tried to post up that time, and the ball will roll out of bounds.
Van Eyck, the beautiful through ball there. He has such vision that he's able to create these chances for his team. He either scoops the ball, he chips the ball, he crosses the ball, but he's always looking as a visionary moving forward with the through ball. So excellent showing by Van Eyck here tonight.
There you get a look at Mike Munoz, Los Dos head coach. Definitely will be looking for some answers after this one. There's another shot, this one taken by a team, and it sails just high as Monday a team comes out of that fabulous soccer academy at Montverde Academy in Central Florida. He's produced so many great players on the club scene going through there, and I think he is going to be something in this Orange County organization.
Yeah, it just comes to show. I mean, the development of these players is exceptional. I mean, you have a lot of talented players across the nation now playing in different USL teams and MLS teams, and it's all based on the development that they have in their creative years. You know, in age 10 to 15, it's crucial. So it's exceptional to see. It's reflective on the league. It's reflective on the individualities. Technically speaking, all these players have developed faster than any we could have developed at age 15 to 20 back 20 years ago.
Pineda. Passing has been very crisp tonight for Orange County as the team tried the cross. Van Eyck couldn't catch up to it that time. Wind has calmed down just a little bit here in Southern California. Los Dos with the wind edge in the second half. Been able to help their runs just a little bit, but No goals still to show for as another run stalls. Villalobos sends it back. Now Sorto controlling. Victor Pineda, future star in the Orange County organization, wearing number 6. Bradford Jameson using his body that time, and it will belong to Los Dos.
Yeah, Jameson silently has been playing exceptionally well in the last few minutes. Every touch he's had has been sound. I mean, across the board, he's bringing a lot of value to the team. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to connect well with the maybe a Lassiter up top or even a Zubak, but I see a lot of talent and vision in a player like Jameson. Hopefully he can obviously connect in the next couple of games and maybe show more, maybe when it comes to a cross or maybe an assist man. But I have to point out that he's done pretty well tonight.
Nice pass by Mendiola. And now a good-looking run for Los Dos. Jameson trying to square one up. And that's a good chance that just could not find a crease once again. But Los Dos continuing to play. And that is a good sign if you're Mike Munoz's team. There have been several bright spots in this game for them. They just have not been able to get on the board. A substitution set to roll in for Orange County. Should have a good opportunity for some guys to get in the lineup, see the field tonight, get a taste of what it is like in this new stadium.
That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to come out and maybe replace a couple key players, give them some rest. They're going to come in, obviously, and give these players that experience, the minutes, maybe the momentum. So it's exceptional for a well-rounded team to really have, their depth when it comes to their bench players. So it's important to see that he's going to come in now, Gian, on the left-hand side to replace Alvarez and continue to put that pressure on LA's back line.
Yeah, Kevin June entering the game for Orange County. Dynamic midfielder. He has played all over the world. Played in Spain, played in Germany. And has come here to Orange County to take his game to the next level. That one intercepted, and we got a whistle this time, as that was a team who went to the turf.
Great energy from a team. I mean, obviously he's coming with speed. He obviously intercepted the ball there. That's the only way you could stop him at this point.
Just about to say, when you got a team flying by you like that,
yeah,
only one way to stop him, try and hold him up. And I think that's an easy call.
Oh yeah, clear. Entertaining player. I mean, he's going to come in and he's going to make a difference rest of the season. And that's entertaining to see how all these players come in and they really make a difference, even if they're coming off the bench. So there's really no lapse when it comes to the momentum for the team here from OC.
Here's Pineda, former player for the Galaxy. Ami Pineda, only his second match, number 16 for Orange County, only his second match with the club. So he is very much breaking in like Monday a team with the ball right now.
And you can't tell. And that's important because they're meshing well immediately with their teammates. So that just shows that he can really intertwine well with new players, even though he's obviously never played with them more than 1 or 2 games.
There's June, a little bit of contact.
I'm also noticing a lot of versatility here between these players. I mean, a lot of them, they interchange themselves from attacking to midfield to attackers. Players like Van Eyck, who started up top, has really come back into a deeper role in the midfield. A team who's flying everywhere, obviously on the offensive side. It's good to see that because it just shows a lot of versatility for these players.
Lonergan got the yellow card for Los Dos. Trying to get in position. I think a goal here would go a long way for the visitors. Just something positive to head into that next match.
That's always wanted. I mean, you want to have that goal, even if it's just for pride. I mean, you want to go and have confidence going into the next game, even though you're down several goals. But by scoring a goal, it just changes your momentum. It gives you a little bit more emphasis on improving for the next week, knowing that you were able to score a goal.
Again, next goal for Los Dos is at home as they'll host the Real Monarchs. But that's just in 4 days. Now it's Navarro and sends it back. Charles Lyon has been a force in net up to this point. Well, the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. We invite you to stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com. That's uslsoccer.com, and follow them on Twitter at USL. So many great news and notes coming out daily from the league.
Yeah, and a couple games back, I was mentioning how important social media has been. Obviously, you have internet online presence for these leagues, for these players. Back 15 years ago, we as players didn't have any technology. We couldn't really follow anything. We couldn't really see any highlights, any replays. So, you know, tapes of matches, I mean, it's very, very hard to come by. Nowadays, everything's streamed, everything's online, so it's ever growing when it comes to presence for all these players, and it's an advantage at the end of the day. You get to see yourself, you get to see how you improve, you see what you need to work on as a team, as an individual. It's great for the fans, obviously for the generational gap that we have here when it comes to technology. We have the the millennials, obviously, as we know and call them. Everyone's getting engaged online and having a great time being able to see these games online.
Another handball going to be called. That's the third handball we've seen here tonight. As they'll set it up just outside the center circle. A good look at Alex Munoz, young head coach for Los Dos. Los Dos, a team that is not only doing great things on the field, but they're very involved in the community year to year. Coach Munoz, figurehead in the Los Angeles community. Orange County now trying to slow things down as Sorto sends it back. Orange County could not have found a better way to open their brand new stadium than what they have done tonight on the field. A 4-0 explosion against their arch rivals.
You're right. I mean, if you're coming in first time, home crowd, first game, brand new stadium, and you have a 4-0 showing in the 83rd minute, I mean, that's you can't ask for more as a fan and even as a player and as a team. So they must be riding high tonight. OC is going to be celebrating, obviously, most likely if they win. They're going to be celebrating a great achievement tonight with this new stadium.
On the flip side, Albert, if you are Los Dos, come up on the short end of this one. You got Real in 4 days. How do you rebound from this match? If you are Coach Munoz, do you just throw the tape away and start from scratch, or do you learn from what happened tonight?
It's always good to learn from your mistakes. They're going to watch some tape. They're going to understand that they need to make, obviously, improvements. Energy level, obviously, the actual transactional passing, the momentum they have in the midfield, it needs to be improved. So it's hard to say start from scratch, but at the same time, it's good to understand what the mistakes have been. Rebounding wise, I mean, it's always tough to rebound, but it's early on in the season. Every game is important, but at the end of the day, it's all about getting to player development, obviously, and getting to the playoffs.
Now it's Los Dos, and we're in the 86th minute. Fuji trying to spring free. Couldn't shift gears to his right as Navarro was marking him very tightly that time.
Again, a small glimpse of brilliance there by Fuji running up in the field. He needs to do more of that. He's the captain, obviously he has experience. They're depending on him for his leadership, but he came speedy forward. Great wall pass action. Unfortunately, he couldn't capitalize.
Here's Fernandez. Fernandez with a goal tonight for OC, but Van Avijk, the player with the ball right here, his first 2 goals of the match, really set the tone Lopez able to finally get that one in. It was deflected for a moment there.
Lopez has had a busy night tonight. But he's come up strong. I mean, obviously he needs to improve on a couple of decision-making skills. Obviously communication with his defenders. He just collided with his defender. But overall, I see a lot of promise in the young goalie. Great size, obviously great height. But OC's just been too much for them tonight, especially here on the back line.
Now it's Abias. Mediola. Little hesitation. Now some chemistry developing. Villarreal. Header on the way. A little bit high. Good idea by Los Dos.
Great idea. That's exactly what they need to do. Ariel Lopez, Lazater, tall player. Obviously, he's well over 5'10", 5'11". Great asset in the air. They need to make sure that they capitalize on his height. He needs to come in and obviously use those tries to really look for opportunities.
How good was his father, Roy Lassiter?
Let's just say at one point, or I'm not even sure if it's still existing, he has the record of MLS goal scoring in one season. So he's that good. A lot of experience, so much speed. I mean, he physically looks like his father. So imagine, I mean, he's that type of quality player where he just comes in and poaches goals. He did really well back in 96, 97 with Tampa Bay Mutiny, having Carlos Valderrama, the assist man, really lead
that
him
was
up.
a heck of a combination.
Exactly. So, I mean, how good was he? I mean, top-notch, quality player, excellent player, in my opinion.
Raul Mendiola now, quarter kick on the way, and a chance for Los Dos to get something done offensively. Ball kind of got lost in traffic that time, and coming out of there is Van Avijk with it.
USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting www.uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter.
Only 2 minutes of regulation remaining here in Orange County. Now Los Dos still trying to get on the board. There's a shot, and again a save, as it has been a stellar night turned in by Charles Lyon.
Excellent attempt by LA, though. Villarreal, long pass to oncoming striker Lassiter, as you see here on the replay. Great attempt by LA, though. They knocked it off. They played well. They touched it off, and they got a shot off. But unfortunately, it came up short. But Lyon obviously had a great performance.
Orange County's got to go on the road once again. Head to the Midwest to take on Tulsa at One Oklahoma Field. That'll happen 1 week from tonight. This team, they've got all the weapons in place right now to do it. Here's Lassiter one more time.
Great touch there. I mean, the attempt was by Fuji. I mean, Fuji has had a struggled night. I mean, obviously he's been present in a couple of attempts going forward, but his left-footed shot was a little weak there. It would have been great for him as a leader to really come up with that goal last minute, but it just didn't happen for LA.
Thrown in by Van Avijk as the seconds wind down. Capping off what has just been a brilliant night for OC. Ball sent back. Van Avijk still wanting another. Squeezing one through. Hands are going up, and the flag will go up as well, as Monday, a team tried to add his name into the scoring column.
I thought that was going to be the 5th goal. What an exceptional through ball. Unfortunately, he was offside. 5-0 would have been a culmination of a great night for OC, but even though that 4-0 is still exceptional showing.
Well, Albert, you've had a chance to see a lot of USL action so far this year. Where does this Orange County team rank in your mind? Can this be a team that really makes a run as we kind of near the quarter part of the season here in 2017?
Contender, definitely a contender. They have enough quality players, and the teamwork that they've shown based on these individualities, very important.
Look at Van Avike still working here as we're in extra time.
It's still early on to tell, but amongst other teams that I've seen, obviously they're up in the top 5 so far.
Standing ovation tonight for the Orange County SC as they flat out get it done against their arch rival Los Dos. A 4-0 clean sheet provided by Charles Lyon, the goalkeeper, and the weapons led by Jerry Van Avike, the midfielder, putting on a show tonight in the first game at Orange County Great Park. We've got more from Southern California, wrapping things up right after this.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional 3rd division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans, in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit usld3.com.
Well, the celebration has begun here in Orange County as Orange County SC, a night of domination over Los Dos, 4-0. It started early and it continued. Jerry Van Avike had his game face tonight, had some fun with fans before the match started, and then when it began, his shots came early and often.
Well, as we watched the highlights here, I mean, there was a resounding confidence here from OC from the beginning. You had players like Van Avike really partnering up well and taking shots from the get-go. Really making Lopez work, obviously in this penalty kick. Obviously he was beat to the right-hand side. Well struck penalty kick by the Belgian. So it just started off with a great night by OC.
So taking advantage of the handball call, a little hesitation there. Van Avike makes it a 1-0 contest. And then just minutes later, goalie comes out, Lopez took the gamble, and Van Avike made him pay.
Terrible mistake by Lopez, but capitalized exceptionally well by Van Avike with the second goal of the game. Beautiful strike from half field almost, and obviously he kept leading up here on the third goal. Villalobos struck it well in the point of maximum opportunity for OC, and it ricocheted off the defender. So sometimes all you need to do is hit it in the box, and then someone might hit it in. Overall, a lot of attempts in the second half by LA. They really stepped it up to really try to lessen the deficit. But unfortunately for them, OC's play was just resounding tonight.
Charles Lyon doing his thing. Shots kept on coming. Eric Lopez under fire, and then this empty net goal. Fernandez off the bench, cashing in.
Who came in essentially for the hurt Lacroix, who we saw as a player to watch tonight. Fernandez really came up, stepped up to the plate, found a very beautiful through ball, and capitalized on a one-on-one goal.
SC not taking their foot off the gas pedal. Another opportunity. This one sails just a little bit high. And at this point, the game was firmly in control, but they wanted to kind of give a little show for their home fans. They did just that. A 4-0 shutout over Los Dos. Albert, let's take a look at the final stats. What stood out to you?
There you go. It's basically the same as the first half, 60-40 in possession. Shots are exactly the same, basically 11 shots. I mean, not much has changed, but we have 4 goals that made the huge difference. OC is going to continue their momentum going into the second part of the season. LA, they need to really change their view. Interesting way they're going to do it is by practicing more on the actual possession, potentially get some shots on goal, really rotate their players. But overall, OC had a better night.
And overall, the opening of Orange County Great Park could not have gone much better. Orange County SC gets the 4-0 shutout over Los Dos. For our entire television crew, for Albert Munoz, my partner, I'm Drew Felios, saying so long and congratulations to OCSC, winners over Los Dos, 4-0. Have a terrific weekend.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.